Welcome to another AI Weekly News Roundup. And while it may seem like not much happened, I probably eased off the pedals a little bit on keeping up with everything this week, but I've still got a fair bit of content to go through, so let's give it a go. Hey everyone, welcome to this week's roundup of AI and tech news. I've been diving into a mix of videos covering everything from how AI is transforming businesses and redefining enterprise, productivity and breakthroughs, model innovations, and the rapid rise of AI-driven coding, which we've seen go ballistic since the start of this year and really towards the end of last year with the release of Claude 3.5. 1. Enterprise transformation and business impact. One of the recurring themes this week has been how AI is reshaping business strategies and operations. For example, on the Inbound 2025 sessions where I had some talks that I was watching from the HubSpot and Anthropic CEOs, where they explained like exponential growth and a nearly 10x yearly increase for those businesses in the past year due to AI and the involvement of AI within the business and how they're using it to improve process and efficiency as well as development. This really is forcing companies to try and balance rapid scaling with this fast growth and trying to deal and serve customers the right way. It was eye-opening to learn about future potential projects like using AI agent to run a vending business. So that's not a past project, that's probably something that was happening a little while ago where Anthropic was using that as a test case to see how good their models would operate. It could operate, but it was bending to people's requests too easily, so ended up losing money. Different AIs for different jobs is sort of a concept where you use the right AI for the right use case. There is general AIs, Anthropic, ChatGPT, Claude. They sort of do everything for everyone, but there is specific tools that do give you better results compared to what other tools would do, so you get a better outcome from them. So that's something we do in our business. We use the right tools for the right tasks, so you can get a better outcome, get better results, and sometimes a really dedicated tool gives you a better result than a general tool because it takes into account the proper workflows. Apple also made headlines with its upcoming AI-powered search engine. So that's where there's been discussions around AI buying Perplexity, which I may have mentioned last week and the week before, and probably a couple times before that, but the news just keeps coming up. And then it's them, again, testing their own models. People are still not too happy with the way Siri's been deployed and working in the market. They think that Apple's fallen behind. Apple had their iPhone event yesterday at the time of recording this, which was launching the new iPhone 17, iPhone 17 Air, Pro, no Pro Max, 17 as well, new Apple earbuds with AI, we can do live translations, as well as the new watch. Nothing really big focus on AI like last year, where they announced things and then delayed and didn't really launch with much of it. Cutting edge AI research and model innovations. Moving into more technical territory, there's a lot of exciting work in advancing models through Google DeepMind with their release of EmbeddingGemma, which is a version of their Gemma model for content embedding that should run on an actual device, not just in the cloud, which means you can then start doing things on your phone like this without going to the cloud and having your data protected and knowing it's going to be safe on your device. So it ties into that privacy model that everyone sort of wants and security. It is a 300 million parameter model, which is not large by the way that these billions are going to 170 billion parameters, but it must be enough to do enough work locally, mobile first. It can run on 300 megabytes of RAM, which is ridiculous. That is so tiny. Your phone has 8, 12 or 16 gigabytes of RAM. This will only take up 300. And I'm guessing the next Pixel phone next year, or when that comes out, the Pixel 11, may have an even more advanced Tensor chip, which is their proprietary AI chip that they're using. That'll be focused solely around this with a bit more RAM available dedicated just to that. That's how you'll then be able to have an AI running on device, be the most power efficient, doesn't use all your batteries, still have the most security and privacy involved. There was also a AI paper, a couple that was released by anonymous authors, who most likely are the employees of certain large language model foundation model companies, discussing about the reasons for hallucinations and why it happens. And effectively, it is something that can be taken out of the training system so that there is no hallucinations. But I'll just read what they say here a little bit more about that. The hallucinations explain that it's an overconfident response. Rather than saying, I don't know, it chooses to say something so it seems like it has an answer. Rather than the more intelligent response being, I don't know. Rather than, yep, leaves are definitely purple on normal trees. And then saying, yep, that's correct. That's an example of what it would do, because if it doesn't know the answer, it's still going to try and give you something because it's been told to please and provide answers to people and be helpful. So it rather gives you the wrong answer to confidently than not giving you any answer. But again, that is something that could be trained out of the model at that right stage, which no one's done yet because it probably takes a lot of work and will change sort of the output and the dynamic of what people are used to. Then there's also the buzz around Grok's Stealth LLM, which has come up as something called Sonoma Sky Alpha, with a record-breaking 2 million token context window, which is huge compared to what's out there. Still, GPT-5 is 200,000 tokens. It's weird, they don't follow the binary system, the 32, 64 to 56 gig RAM model. It's more thousands, so 2 million token context length, which is huge. Haven't played with it, haven't seen it, but something again for us to look into, and then I'll let you know if I ever do get the chance. It apparently outperforms Google Gemini 2.5 Pro and even some deployments of GPT 4.1, which has been the benchmark lead in quite a lot of things for quite a long time now. AI enhanced software development, again, the big buzz and what everything's been talking about. I heard a couple of interviews and talks with people from Lovable and some other actual AI development companies, as well as places like Robinhood and Coinbase, which are stock market trading apps, and they were talking about how they were using AI to enhance and improve developer cadence and output. Those two companies specifically mentioned that about 50% of their code has been written by AI. Now, I don't know if that is 50% of all code and how much gets approved and pushed into production. That's going to be a different number. 50% of that is going to be amazing, and that's probably what they're inferring, but you're not sure because there's a lot of code that gets written, that gets discarded, goes through pull reviews and has to change. But still, 50% of AI code is a huge amount of output that's coming from these models and what's being written by people. You're not looking at replacing people. How do you augment people and get them to do more? How do they become super in their work by using AI to get ahead? Some predictions even suggesting that that number, 50%, will get close to like 90% of actual code being generated, but who knows, time will tell. It's going in that direction. What you can do with a lot of these tools these days is unbelievable. It does a lot when you don't know how to code. When you do know how to code, it does even better, but there's still so many holes and flaws in what gets generated. It's not production ready, it's not bulletproof, you will have problems. This integration with these AI development tools in coding companies has been the first real rock solid use case of bringing AI into a business. These who haven't seen this, the way that AI affected development, affect any other industry yet. But I don't think we're far off. This is just a monster use case because that's also what these companies do, is they write code. This integration is not just about speed, it's also driving innovation in benchmarks and funding rounds, such as Cognition's recent $400 million announcement, which is what the valuation is at now, which underlines that the market's growing belief in the transformative power of AI in engineering processes. Closing thoughts. In summary, this week's video collectively paints a picture of an industry in rapid evolution, from businesses leveraging AI for explosive growth and smarter operations, to cutting-edge model innovations that promise more efficient and reliable AI interactions. And finally, to the dramatic rise of AI in software development. It's clear that AI continues to integrate into every facet of tech. Adapting and understanding these trends will be crucial for both enterprises and creators alike. Well, thank you for watching. That's just the summary of what I covered this week. Again, as I mentioned, took the foot off the pedal a little bit this week and didn't keep up with as many things as I'd like to, but I'll jump back onto it again starting from today for the next week. As usual, if you have any comments, thoughts or ideas, leave them, let me know what you're thinking, any discussion around any of the items here. And once again, if there's any ideas on how we can make this a bit more engaging and make this more useful for you, the general people out there, as I mentioned in previous 22 videos, this is made for my team first so they can stay on top of all the news that I'm trying to keep on top of. So our business is understanding what's happening in AI, the rise of it, and the wave of what's coming. And until next week, good luck keeping up with everything.